Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Road to Pro. This week, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to go inside of a match, I'm going to commentate for you and explain the mistakes that I made during the match. Possibly some of the mistakes my opponent made as well. Recently, over the weekend, I went to the St. Valentine's Day Massacre Tournament in Chicago. This has been, since I'm trying to get back into tournament shape, I intentionally went to this tournament to try and up my game to get ready for Illinois State. I originally wasn't going to play singles, but I was talked into it by a few of my friends. I did end up taking second in the event to Rassel, but, and you know what, he played really, really well. I was very impressed. But I'm not ready just yet to take on some of the big dogs, and that event showed it to me. I'm going to explain in my match why that is and some things that I'm working on to improve it. Let's jump into the match, and let's talk about the mistakes I made, so that you guys have a better idea of what mistakes not to make. Alright guys, so let's jump right in here. I wanted the drop here. I want to start off strong. That's kind of always something you want to do. You always want to start off strong. So I go to my go-to, wall pass. Standard for me. Now this here, my first shot, I intentionally want to make him be worried. And a lot of people are going to give you a middle right off the bat for a pull shooter, in my opinion, because they're so scared of the long. Right there, and this is what I mean by my game right now. My transition game is really bad in singles. Transition game has to do with your back and forth beyond the rods, so moving from goalie to forward and vice versa. I wasn't able to stop that shot because of what was going on. Like, I just didn't have any transition game. I kind of had a pretty good idea of his 5-bar early on. I believe Josh is a rookie, so I was going to intentionally abuse him by playing a little bit quicker, just like that, by doing a rolling long while he bobbed off to try and keep him on his toes. I didn't want, when you're playing somebody that's ranked lower than you, in my opinion, you want to get a mental aspect to the game starting right away. You want them to kind of fear you. And that's always my game plan. Josh shoots a really well-timed push side right there. I feel like, you know, he was probably due for that. He started off a little rough. And right there, even where I dropped the ball and it passed back, it was just, you know, me making silly little mistakes. That shot that I just shot from the 2-rod is intentionally put on goal, just so you guys know. I'm trying to jump forward so that it hits his guy, comes back to my 3-rod while I'm jumping forward. It didn't do that, it rolled into his area, but that is the reasoning behind it. I'm not always trying to shoot on goal. I'm sometimes just trying to get the ball down there so I can jump up and catch the ball. I was trying to do it again there, also knowing a high percentage I could try and slice it through. But unfortunately it kicked right back to his 3-bar, and I paid the price for that mistake. I'm going to change up the game plan a little bit. I am going to stick with my wall pass here anytime I see him bobbing off the wall. This is a really big point. I could not miss that shot. If I miss that shot, then I'm the one that could be going down 4-3 and being in a lot of trouble. I'm going to intentionally toughen up my defense a little bit here and try and get a piece of anything he does. That's why you saw me shake back and forth really, really hard right there. I kind of rushed this shot, and that's a huge mistake right now. At 4-3, you need to put your opponent away, and that's why I take this timeout. Because I rushed that shot, I knew in my head, I'm like, oh man, Chase, you gotta not do stupid things right now. You have to play smart. If you want to do well in singles, you have to play smart across the table. It's not just one rod, it's not just shooting and passing, it's across the entire table. So what I'm going to do here is set up and hopefully sit on the ball.
Ready.
He bobbed, so I went straight. That's one of those things with a straight. If you see somebody bob heavy, you can just execute a straight immediately and get the free point. Right there is a perfect example of why my transition game's rough. I wasn't sure where to put my hand. Normally, when I used to play a lot more, I knew exactly where to move my hand to block that type of pass that was misexecuted. But because my transition game is so rough, moving back and forth from not playing people in singles, I'm rusty at it. So I have to pay close attention to where that ball is at all times. That's why I did switch to putting my hands in goal, opposed to just playing with my right hand on the 3-rod and my left hand on the 5-bar. I wanted to make sure no more rags and anything went in to give him an opportunity to get into this match. And right here, that's where Josh actually really had a hard time transitioning. He didn't jump up to his 5-bar quick enough to try and get that rebound. This is where I'm starting to make a couple just old school rush shot technique mistakes. And it made me choose the wrong hole here. To me, that was a very big mistake. I needed to slow down and wait. I'm kind of just trying to force pressure on him because I've been out-fiving him. I've been being kind of a pain in the butt. Trying to force things, make him make more mistakes than I'll make. There I misexecuted. It cut back. I think he actually thought I meant to do it. Which, for the record, guys, if somebody thinks that you meant to do something and you didn't, and it's not blatantly obvious that it was a mistake, I wouldn't admit to it if I were you. Let them think otherwise in a tournament. Make them try and figure you out. Don't give them answers. Again, right there, another transition issue for me. I should have jumped up immediately and was able to grab that ball on my 3-rod. I did not. I knew he didn't have hands in his goalie. That's why I'm playing split. And I thought that I might be able to get away with a couple from the 5-bar. I'm up 2-1. I've been really in control. And I think rushing him around a little bit is making him make more mistakes than I'm making. And it's why I kind of played the way that I did here. Although, in my opinion, it's still a mistake. I got lucky there. Casper gets the block and knocks it into his own goal. Casper, for the record, guys, is my 5-bar that does not have a hand on it. He did come back, hit that really good push kick, and caught me a little bit off guard. I kind of bobbed the wrong direction. Again, in transition, where I'm really struggling with my game right now. To work on that, guys, if you're trying to work on transition stuff, you gotta play singles a lot against somebody that's either A, fast, or hits the ball hard from every rod. It's really the only way to do it. I finally start really slowing down, realizing that I have to make points go. Again, this is another one of those ones that, see, he says I deserve it. He thought that I did it on purpose. I'm not going to tell him any otherwise. Absolutely not. There is no reason to tell him anything other than that shot was on purpose. It was a misexecution, I'll be straight up and honest, and he'll know now because he's watching the match, but definitely wouldn't let him know. And I closed out with my 2-rod.
Dang it.
I was hoping
You recorded this?
Shot for a while. I didn't want to let him know that it was there the whole match, so we'd close it up. I wanted to save it for a big point. 4-2, 4-3 is perfect time for that. Hey guys, if you like this episode of Road to Pro, do me a huge favor by hitting the subscribe button over here. If you want to check out my last episode of Road to Pro, click over here. Do me a huge favor, guys. Click on both these and also comment down below if you like this episode. I need to know if you want me to do more commentaries like this or do back to the original things. Thanks, guys.